Hi, this is Team Razzle. I'm Angela.
I'm Lakeisha.
I'm Zainab. And I'm Rebecca.
Our assessment is the Spanish Structured Photographic Expressive Language Test, also called the Spelt 3. This assessment was written by Henrietta Langdon and published by Janelle Publications in 2012. This assessment can be used for children between the ages of 4 years and 9 years 11 months. It takes approximately 20 minutes to administer. The purpose of this assessment is to examine the various types of grammatical structures in Spanish while incorporating the child's pragmatic abilities. This assessment targets 5 language functions, including labeling, describing, informing, requesting, and hypothesizing.
In this article, Perona, Plante, and Vance conducted a study using the English version of the Spelt 3, in which 42 4- and 5-year-old children with specific language impairment and 43 children with typically developing language abilities were studied to determine the accuracy and validity of the Spelt 3. Results from both an exploratory and a confirmatory sample yielded 90% sensitivity and 100% specificity when using a cutoff standard score of 95. This provides support for the Spelt 3 accurately identifying children with SLI. In this article, Paradis concluded that English language learners' language accuracy rates and error patterns with grammatical morphemes were similar to those that have been reported for the same age monolingual children with SLI in both spontaneous and elicited speech. Paradis also explained that it is important to test children in their native language. In this article, Anderson compared the Spelt 3 Spanish adapted preschool version of the test to a structured activity targeting the same grammatical structures developed for the purpose of the study. The article found that the students performed better on the structured activity and it was more effective in evaluating the children's knowledge of the grammatical forms than they did on the Spelt 3 Spanish adapted preschool version.
The examiner qualifications is that this test should be administered by a bilingual SLP who conforms to the standards as stated by ASHA or by a trained bilingual interpreter, teacher, or professional. As with any test, the test examiner should be familiar with the test administration and stimuli. The administration procedures are as follows. The clinician must gather all necessary material and then present the practice items to the child. Place plate number 1 in front of the child and read the elicitation statements. Record the child's responses. A total of 2 prompts can be used per plate. Continue testing, as each item should be used in the above procedure until the test is concluded. Here is a demonstration of the Spelt 3 being administered.
Los niños están.
En la oficina, sí.
Ella está hablando con.
Los niños.
Los niños están en la oficina ¿por qué?
Quieren hablar con ella.
Después los niños van a ir. Después los niños van a ir.
¿A la clase?
Sí, a la clase. El niño tiene una sonrisa, ¿por qué?
Está happy.
¿Cómo se dice happy en español?
Está feliz.
Sí, está feliz.
There are no basals or ceilings for this assessment. The child's response is scored by evaluating whether or not the response is grammatically or pragmatically correct, conforming to the adult form of the target structure. The clinician will either score the child's response as correct or incorrect. As you can see on the record form, the most popular correct responses are listed for the clinician to circle. If the child states something different, the clinician may write the child's response for later review and scoring accuracy. The manual provides an extensive resource for evaluating the responses of children from various Hispanic backgrounds. For example, if the target word is backpack, the manual will provide examples of how a person from the Dominican Republic will say backpack or how someone from Puerto Rico will say backpack. The raw score is defined by the number of correct responses. The client's raw score can be converted into a standard score, a grade equivalent, or a percentage range. Here's a sample of the record form. Thank you for viewing our presentation of the Spanish Spelt 3.